What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, October 10th, 2024. I'm Alana Bose reporting for News Source with the latest tonight. Describing his government as the most caring and responsive one that Guyana has seen, President Irfaan Ali today announced a one-off cash grant of $200,000 to every household across Guyana. He said the move is to increase disposable income in households across the country, adding that it also forms part of a wider cost of living measure. Addressing the 86th sitting of the 12th Parliament today, the president said since taking office, his government has introduced a number of measures to ease the cost.
On top of all the measures we have already announced, I also wish to announce now a one-off cash grant of $200,000 to every household in Guyana.
Additionally, the president said government has been also able to increase public sector workers' salary as well as old age and NIS pension to bring further relief to citizens who have been complaining. But despite the interventions the president highlighted, there have been daily complaints from citizens about the high cost of food and other basic items. He said public sector workers will see an increase in their salaries.
In addition to the various increases awarded to public sector employees over the years since we assumed office, including the special adjustments made to the salaries of certain categories of teachers, public healthcare workers, and members of the discipline forces, I now wish to announce that by the end of 2025, no public sector employee will be working for less than $100,000 monthly. This will see the disposable income of these employees increasing by more than $1 billion.
The president used the opening of this address to reflect on the tenure of the former APNU-AFC government and made a comparison of what his government was able to achieve in 4 years to bring relief to citizens.
Some of the measures my government have implemented to increase disposable income in to the Guyanese household since assuming office include increasing the income tax threshold from $65,000 to $100,000, removing 39,000 persons from the income tax net, and increasing disposable income by $9.4 billion annually.
The opposition has often reminded that it had no oil money in its time in office and was still able to get a lot done. President Ali said his government will continue to make interventions as it becomes necessary to ease the cost of living burden being faced by citizens. More news coming up in a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. It can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
I am Simone Ford, and I'm the owner of Siege Eco Clean Services. I provide my services to the oil and gas sector. We provide janitorial services which are environmentally friendly. So we produce healthier homes and healthier workspaces.
Are you ready to elevate your career with a world-class education from the comfort of your home? The University of Excellence Management in Business, UEMB, Guyana's premier accredited and recognized tertiary institution, invites you to join one or more of our comprehensive 145-degree programs. Registration is now open for our next intake on September 9 and every 2 months thereafter. Enroll now and secure a 50% scholarship. Choose from an ABA, BBA, MBA, MPM, EMBA, EMPM, and LLM degrees, available in 14 specializations. Whether you hold an undergraduate degree, a diploma, or relevant professional qualifications, apply. We are an accredited degree-granting tertiary institution in Guyana. Our programs are also equivalent to a USA Regional Accredited degree. Submit your completed application form, proof of entrance qualification, and any form of ID. For more details, visit our administrative office in the Critchlow Labour College, front building, Wolford Avenue, or call 225-1395, 225-1397-9, 618-3434, and 681-3434. Progressing to a degree is as easy as ABC with UEMB. Deal with the best and forget the rest.
I can't wait until tomorrow.
Yes.
Start packing this, yeah?
I ain't start packing yet. Usually I pack a couple hours before and I go. Drive. I got my phone, I got my keys, my charger, my
Procrastinating planning for the future? Well, that's never a good idea. Let Demerara Mutual and Demerara Fire and General help you get started with planning for your future today. I'm with Dem.
Welcome back. President Irfan Ali has announced plans by the government to wipe out the tuition requirement at the University of Guyana, making the country's top tertiary education institution tuition-free. Addressing the parliament today, the president said the initiative is expected to cost the government some $18 billion. The plan to make university education free has been a campaign promise of the PPPC government.
Mr. Speaker, accordingly, starting from January 2025 semester, tuition fees will be completely abolished at the University of Guyana. This will continue the advancement of our human capital for a more prosperous future for our country and for all of the young people who will benefit from this initiative and their family.
The measure is expected to benefit in excess of 11,000 current students at UG immediately and all the new students in the future. The University of Guyana provided free education up until 1994 when charges were introduced under the PPP Civic government and then President Dr. Chetty Jagan. The government earlier this year introduced a loan forgiveness program for UG students with outstanding student loans with some 346 students. By the end of this year, the president said the loan forgiveness program could exceed $5 billion. Meanwhile, the president said the government continues to make tertiary education accessible. He urged persons to make use of opportunities under the Guyana Online Academy of Learning Gold Scholarship Program, which he said has already benefited thousands of persons throughout the country. Additionally, the president said the government is pressing ahead to achieve universal secondary education and will be introducing a digital school that is expected to create innovative learning. Leader of the opposition Aubrey Norton today rubbished the government's social and economic policies as he addressed protesters gathered outside of the Arthur Chung Conference Center while President Irfan Ali was addressing Parliament. The opposition leader told the protesters that the APNU and AFC opposition took a decision to boycott today's parliamentary sitting to protest the government's locked policies and bring attention to the many crises facing the country.
Our public demonstration is intended to re-emphasize that Guyana remains in crisis, a crisis in parliamentary democracy. a crisis in local government affairs, a crisis in political relations, a corruption crisis, a transparency and accountability crisis, a law enforcement crisis, and a crisis in terms of the high cost of living and poor quality of life experienced daily by most Guyanese citizens.
Backed by a number of opposition parliamentarians, Norton said notwithstanding the country's bountiful resources, including its newfound wealth, oil and gas, a substantial number of Guyanese continue to live in poverty, while government pretends all is well.
The PPP is either blind and deaf, or indifferent and heartless, or incompetent and clueless, or arrogant and elitist, or all of the above. We in the opposition will not play along with the PPP's deception and pretensions. We will not lose sight of the fact that the entire Guyanese population, in particular the 50% and more who voted for us at the 2020 general regional elections, continue to look to us to represent their concerns and interests, to defend their rights and freedoms, to restrain the PPP from its excessive and self-centeredness, and to present an alternative vision of development with people at the center rather than support the PPP cronyism and wealth to their families, friends and favorite approach.
He assured those present that the opposition will continue to fight on behalf of all the people of Guyana, adding that it will also continue to expose and remedy bad governance, corruption, executive lawlessness and all forms of discrimination. Norton said too that the opposition will continue to demand the easing of economic burdens on the poor and vulnerable in Guyana that he believes are as a result of the PPP government's mismanagement, corruption and divisiveness. He noted that through the National Assembly, the opposition sought to bring attention to the high cost of living and the many issues confronting ordinary Guyanese. He said questions put to the government would have been downplayed, but the opposition will remain resolute.
On the matter of cost of living, let it be noted that as leader of the opposition, I made several proposals to address this matter, all of which the government has ignored. These include: 1, the provision of salary increases for all government employees, several times higher than the last imposed pay increase by this government. 2, the raising of the tax-free threshold to $150,000 per month to put more money in the hands of the over 200,000 Guyanese workers in the public and private sectors. 3, the development of agriculture in all regions to reduce the cost of food. Here I must point out the PPP focuses only on region 2, 3, parts of 4, 5 and 6.
Other recommendations included the provision of large grants to help farmers purchase equipment to bring costs down, the distribution of fuel vouchers to farmers, the provision of 2 hot meals to students, and the establishment of a school transportation network to remove student transportation costs. Norton said the disgraceful salary increases imposed on public servants and teachers over the past 4 years are meager when compared to the high inflation Guyanese face daily and the more than 70% plus increases given by the APNU and AFC government between 2015 and 2020. Norton also used today's platform to bring attention to issues affecting the judiciary, the issue of crime and security, and interference in local government.
The Guyana Elections Commission GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. How to apply for registration? You must visit the GCOM registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons from your area of residence to apply for registration or name change or correction. You must be in possession of the following source documents as might be relevant: original birth certificate or valid Guyana passport for new registration, original marriage certificate and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by way of marriage, original deed poll and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by deed poll, original naturalization certificate and original birth certificate or valid passport in the case of naturalization. This registration exercise will end on November 29th, 2024. For further information, please contact GCOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
With more investments being made in the military, President Irfan Ali has declared that the government of Guyana remains committed to building a strong and diverse military.
We seek to build a military that reflects the diversity, one that is inclusive and offers opportunities for all its members to contribute to our collective success.
Addressing the commissioning parade for new officers on Wednesday at the headquarters of the Guyana Defense Force, the president said he understands the challenges being faced by many nations currently, and it is because of those challenges that the government has chosen to invest heavily in the Guyana Defense Force.
We are proud of our independence, our ability to chart our own course and to make our own decisions. This independence is not merely a matter of pride, but a fundamental principle that guides our actions. We are committed to maintaining our sovereignty, safeguarding our national interests, and building a future where our nation thrives.
The president urged the families of the new officers of the Guyana Defense Force to continue to be supportive and understand that their support will be crucial as the new officers take on a military career. He said his government will remain supportive of them. To the newly commissioned officers, the president reminded them that they have inherited a legacy of courage and dedication, encouraging them to always maintain their integrity as it will serve them well in their service to the military and the country. He said integrity will be the cornerstone of their military service and will serve as the foundation on which all other values will be built.
Your journey has just begun. You will face challenges. You will encounter obstacles, and you will be tested. But I'm confident that you will rise to the occasion. You are trained to rise to the occasion. will demonstrate the same courage, dedication, and professionalism that have been a hallmark of our defense force.
A total of 28 recruits completed the Standard Officers Course number 55. Of that number, there were 6 graduates from the Guyana Police Force, 1 from the Guyana Prison Service, 1 from the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, and 2 from the Belize Defense Force. The remaining officers were all recruits of the Guyana Defense Force. 24-year-old Joshua Paul of the Guyana Defense Force was adjudged the best graduating student. He is from the community of Kurukuru on the Soos-Dyke-Linden Highway. He documented that he applied to be accepted in the Standard Officers Course on 2 previous occasions before eventually being accepted in his 3rd try. The GDF named new officer Kevon Garnett as the runner-up in the course. The Standard Officers Course was completed over 2 years. It was initially a 6-month program that expanded to 1 year, but back in 2017, it was further expanded to 2 years to include more training and academic work for the new officers. Still with the GDF, the force's Campaign Ghana headquarters is to be reconstructed. During an address to the newly commissioned officers of the GDF on Wednesday, President Irfan Ali announced that instructions have been given to the Chief of Defense Staff to begin the process for the construction of a new headquarters for the GDF.
To this end, I have directed the Chief of Defense Staff to initiate the comprehensive design and tender process for a new defense headquarters building. This strategic investment will not only provide our dedicated men and women in uniform with a modern and functional workplace, but also serve as a tangible symbol of our unwavering commitment to national security and our unwavering dedication to the brave individuals who protect our freedoms.
President Ali noted that his government has invested more than $2.5 billion in the Ghana Defense Force over the past 4 years, and more money will be spent on the force as the administration seeks to build up national security. He said the investment in the military over the years has not been in vain, since there has been a marked improvement in professionalism and a deeper commitment to serve the nation by the men and women in the GDF.
No matter the state of your home, you can make it beautiful for any occasion.
NNS Matai Home Goods Warehouse, simply better living.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all persons who meet the eligibility requirements to apply for registration. By doing so, you will be ensuring that you are issued a national identification card and be included in the official lists of electors for future elections, providing you meet all eligibility criteria. Persons could be prosecuted, fined, or even sent to prison for failing or refusing to apply for registration. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact GCOM on 225-0277-9 or visit the website www.gcom.org.gy.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guy Oil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guy Oil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guy Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
Across the region tonight, the U.S. State Department has barred former Ecuador President Rafael Correa and former Vice President Jorge Glass from entry into the United States due to involvement in corruption, the department said yesterday. The U.S. said the two abused their position as former President of Ecuador and former Vice President of Ecuador by accepting bribes, including through political contributions, in exchange for granting favorable government contracts. The department said it also barred the spouses and children of the former Ecuador officials from entering the U.S. Correa reacted in a post on X, claiming that his sentencing locally for the charges was without merit and that the U.S. barring him from entry was not fair. A new wave of unrest in the French Caribbean island of Martinique has resulted in one death and numerous injuries as protests over high prices escalate. Authorities reported Thursday that a man succumbed to gunshot wounds amid violent clashes between demonstrators and police, which also left 12 officers injured. The island, home to approximately 350,000 residents, has faced weeks of turmoil fueled by rising living costs. The Associated French Press reported that from Wednesday night into Thursday, protesters looted shops, set up burning barricades, and clashed with law enforcement. According to the local prefecture, the deceased was found by police responding to looting reports at a shopping center in Robert. He was later declared dead in the hospital, prompting an investigation into the circumstances of his death, as authorities confirmed that police did not fire their weapons during the unrest. And finally tonight, international news. The Associated Press is reporting tonight that hundreds of Florida residents were rescued Thursday from the aftermath of Hurricane Milton after the storm smashed through coastal communities, where it tore homes into pieces, filled streets with mud, and spawned a barrage of tornadoes that killed at least 5. Arriving just 2 weeks after the misery wrought by Hurricane Helen, the system also knocked out power to more than 3 million customers, flooded barrier islands, tore the roof off a baseball stadium, and toppled a construction crane. The storm tracked to the south in the final hours and made landfall late Wednesday as a Category 3 hurricane in Siesta Key, about 70 miles south of Tampa. Damage was widespread and water levels may continue to rise for days, but Governor Ron DeSantis said it was not the worst-case scenario. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Alana Bowes reporting for News Source. Have a good night.